Chitauri. The Chitauri are a ruthless, highly coordinated alien race serving as one of the greatest threats in the Marvel Universe, depicted across both comics and the Marvel Cinematic Universe. In the Marvel Comics, particularly the Ultimate Universe on Earth 1610, they are portrayed as shape-shifting invaders who frequently attempted to conquer Earth, from clandestine infiltration of Nazi regimes and manipulation of global media to implanting mind-controlling drugs in water supplies and RFID microchips in children. Their covert wars brought humanity to the edge until Captain America and the Ultimates forced them into retreat. Within the main Marvel continuity, they were reintroduced as hive-minded, insect-like drone soldiers under a central queen who obeyed all orders without question. These beings serve as part of Thanos' army, capable of surviving in space, possessing wings for interstellar travel, brute strength, some resistance to damage, and even rapid healing. Sometimes mutated or enhanced variants possess even greater powers. In the MCU, the Chitauri appear as biomechanical reptilian warriors fused with cybernetic enhancements and organized into castes. Born organic but integrated with neural hardware and power systems from a young age, they wield energy-based rifles, ride on skimmers and living leviathans, and communicate via hive-mind linkage to a distant mothership. Their greatest advantage lies in overwhelming hostile forces through sheer numbers, flawless coordination, and a lack of self-preservation. They relentlessly assault targets regardless of casualties. The Chitauri are considered among the most dangerous alien threats in the Marvel world, not because of individual strength but because of their relentless high behavior, technological enhancements, adaptability across media, and their role as Thanos' formidable expendable army whose overwhelming numbers and unwavering obedience make them phenomenally lethal. Pennywise. Pennywise is the most common and terrifying guise of a supernatural alien known simply as It, the titular villain of Stephen King's It, who has become one of the most dangerous extraterrestrial beings in horror fiction thanks to its ancient origins, fear-based feeding cycle, and manipulative cunning. It is a supernatural alien creature from the Macroverse, a void beyond our universe, whose most familiar form is Pennywise the Dancing Clown. This form allows it to lure children, its preferred prey, by offering warmth, charm, free treats, and circus-like allure, a facade that masks its true malevolent intent. It awakens roughly every 27 years, preying upon the fears of children to salt the meat, enhancing the lethality of its victims. It is highly intelligent and cunning, able to manipulate others into doing its bidding, such as turning Henry Bowers into a murderer, all while presenting an innocent clownish persona. Its true form is never fully revealed, yet it manifests as Pennywise because it knows that clowns tap into deep-seated universal fears and simultaneously attract children. It is a cosmic entity and arch-nemesis of Maturin, the turtle, having terrorized Earth for generations, feeding on fear in cyclical bursts of violence and then slipping back into dormancy. Its longevity, shape-shifting prowess, psychological manipulation, and ability to invoke terror make Pennywise not just a mortal threat, but a primordial evil tied to the very fabric of cosmic horror. Parasite. Parasites in the Parasite universe are extraterrestrial worm-like beings that infiltrate Earth via small floating eggs and infect by entering a human host, typically through orifices like the ear, nose, or mouth, and burrow toward the brain. If resisted, they can burrow under the skin and force their way to the head, where they meld irreversibly with the human's nervous system, often erasing the host's consciousness. They then alter the host's head composition to parasite cells that function both as muscle and neuron, granting them a shape-shifting ability to mimic facial features or transform their head into lethal bladed tentacles or a massive fanged maw. While the body remains human-like and non-regenerative, the parasite can coerce it to function despite grievous injuries, making the only reliably fatal attack one that destroys the heart. Some parasites fail to reach the brain and instead take over other body parts, resulting in a symbiotic arrangement where the original host intellect survives in parallel with the parasite's consciousness. In these forms, the parasite controls only the body part merged with. Feeding drives them to hunt members of the host species. Human parasites hunt humans. Parasites in dogs hunt dogs, using the host as disguise while remaining intelligent predators. What makes them especially devastating is their entirely unknown origin, their ability to completely overwrite human identity with a cunning, adaptable hybrid intelligence, and their near undetectable insertion into society until they strike, a perfect blend of stealth, biological horror, ruthlessness, and adaptability that elevates them to the status of one of the most dangerous alien threats conceivable. Predalien. Predalien is a rare and highly lethal case of xenomorph created when a facehugger infests a Yautja, resulting in a hybrid creature that inherits traits from both species. They are born of Yautja hosts, forging a lethal convergence of predator strength and xenomorph adaptability. The most infamous example is the Gunnison Predalien, also referred to as Chet, who emerged from the predator scar aboard his spaceship following an Antarctic hunt. This Predalien matured into a powerful young queen, exhibiting enhanced size, strength, and reproductive capabilities compared to standard xenomorphs. Predaliens demonstrate terrifying abilities. They wield immense strength, agility, dexterity, sensory perception, endurance, and reflexes far beyond those of both their xenomorph and predator progenitors. They exude acidic blood, have inner jaws capable of breaching even formidable defenses, and their exoskeleton offers enhanced durability. As a young queen, the Gunnison Predalien could impregnate hosts directly, regurgitating embryos via its inner jaw into victims. It notably targeted pregnant women, implanting them with multiple embryos and thus accelerating the spread of its xenomorph brood without needing traditional facehugger implantation. In the film Alien vs. Predator, 2004, and its sequel Aliens vs. Predator, Requiem, 2007, the Predalien stalks and ravages the small town of Gunnison, Colorado, unleashing mass infestation, brutal violence, and reproductive terror before being engaged in combat by the predator wolf and ultimately destroyed when a nuclear strike eradicates the town and all remaining xenomorphs and predators. Daleks. The Daleks are a chilling and iconic alien race from the planet Skaro, conceived by the twisted genius Davros and encased in lethal, tank-like robotic shells. Inside, mutated squid-like beings dwell, their sole purpose the extermination of all life they deem inferior. From their inception in the 1963 Doctor Who serial The Daleks. These creatures are not robots but living organisms fused with unwilling mechanical forms. Their creator engineered them to be single-minded, devoid of empathy, and relentless in their genocidal mission. As the 10th Doctor once put it, inside that shell is a creature born to hate, whose only thought is to destroy everything and everyone that wasn't a Dalek too. They are intensely xenophobic beings programmed to eradicate all non-Dalek life. The Daleks established a vast interstellar empire driven by conquest and dominated by an insatiable urge to exterminate. Their empire spanned time and space, perpetrating invasion, genocide, terrorism, and attempted universal domination, clashing repeatedly with the Doctor and the Time Lords. Their power is amplified through sheer technological might and advanced warfare capabilities, including space travel and time manipulation, making them nearly unstoppable. Ever-evolving factions such as the Imperial Daleks, Renegade Daleks, Supreme Daleks, and the Dalek Emperor underscore their adaptability and internal complexity. The Daleks are supremely dangerous because they embody genocide incarnate, merciless, highly intelligent, technologically advanced, and utterly determined to annihilate all life that differs from them. Their terrifying legacy in Doctor Who endures because they blend living fury with mechanical precision, a relentless force that poses a universal threat wherever they roam. Species 8472. Species 8472 is the name given by the Borg Collective to a non-humanoid race indigenous to a realm known as fluidic space, a dimension made of organic liquid accessible only via quantum singularities. The Borg, upon encountering species 8472, recognized them as the apex of biological evolution due to their advanced biology and organic technology, technologies to which even the Borg, despite their formidable prowess, were inferior. When the Borg attempted assimilation, they discovered that species 8472 was immune. Their immune systems instantly annihilated Borg nanoprobes, and their vessels resisted conventional weaponry. Conversely, their bioships effortlessly tore through Borg defenses and shields. In retaliation for what they saw as a contamination of their realm, Species 8472 launched a genocidal campaign against the Milky Way, annihilating hundreds of worlds, millions of drones, and scores of Borg ships. In one devastating attack, they destroyed at least 312 Borg vessels and over 4 million drones in a single engagement. They wielded terrifying offensive capability through their bioships, organic vessels that regenerate, cloak against sensors and tractor beams, and can open quantum singularities to traverse between fluidic space and normal space, with just 8 coordinating to obliterate entire planets. In the Starship Voyager's drama, Species 8472 forced an unlikely alliance with the Borg as the lesser of 2 existential threats, underscoring just how lethal they were. Even the all-powerful Borg felt overwhelmed. Their combination of unmatched biological resilience, devastating organic weaponry, immunity to conventional tactics, and unrelenting genocidal intent cements their reputation as one of the most dangerous extraterrestrial species ever encountered. Yuuzhan Vong. The Yuuzhan Vong are an extragalactic, nomadic, sentient species originally from the planet Yuuzhan and later associated with the living world's Donama Sekat. They nearly annihilated the New Republic and were responsible for the deaths of more than 300 trillion life forms during their invasion of the Star Wars galaxy. Physically humanoid, they tended to be taller and more heavily built than humans, often lacking kidneys, and they possessed distinctive features such as sloping foreheads, minimal hair, jet black blood, and expressive blue eye sacs that reflected their mood. Deeply religious and zealous, their culture glorified pain, sacrifice, and organic technological innovation. They viewed mechanical technology as sacrilegious and instead grafted living organisms into their bodies to enhance strength and status. Perhaps most alarming to the Jedi, the Yuuzhan Vong existed outside the Force. They could not be sensed through it and were immune to most Force powers, which rendered Jedi tactics ineffective. Their society was built around rigid castes, and they embraced aggression, ritual suicides, and fanaticism. Their invasion featured biomechanical starships and weapons, vast and destructive military capabilities that reshaped worlds and spread terror galaxy-wide. Driven by devotion to their gods and contempt for machinery, they waged a genocidal campaign, invading, enslaving, torturing, and committing war crimes on an unimaginable scale, including murdering Chewbacca and Anakin Solo and devastating planets like Ithor and even briefly conquering Coruscant. Their unique blend of socio-religious fanaticism, living technology, immunity to the Force, and their willingness to sacrifice their own for victory made them one of the deadliest threats the galaxy has ever faced. The Mimic. The mimics from Edge of Tomorrow, also featured in the novel All You Need Is Kill, are a terrifying species of alien invaders distinguished by their hive mind structure, extraordinarily swift and agile tentacled bodies, and, in the case of the novel version, silicon-based, armored forms filled with nanites that fire explosive projectiles, while in the film they comprise 3 branches, numerous deadly drones, commanding alphas, and a singular Omega as a central brain that telepathically binds them together. These creatures descended on Earth via asteroid with the intent to conquer, and their horror intensifies in battle because when killed the Omega, or Nexus in the novel, triggers a temporal reset, rewinding the day so that every mimic retains memory of death and learns how to avoid it, rendering them virtually unbeatable. Their ability to ambush from underground, adapt in real time to tactics, unleash explosive attacks, and resurrect strategy through time loops, all coordinated by a hive mind, make them among the most dangerous alien threats conceivable in science fiction. Hey everyone! Thank you all for watching until the end. I'll be back with more videos, so make sure to like and subscribe.